Hello, folks. How's it going? F. Dot and DM here with
Hi.
your finals. SPL Season 2 qualifiers, Week 2, and one is already in the book as far as that's concerned. Panthera versus Team Pointless. Maybe not the matchup you would have expected, but Panthera takes game one.
That's right. Still have a chance to fight back. Pointless is going to need 2 games in a row to take it, but with their advancement to the finals, they have solidified their route here to Week 3. Which is invite only, to my knowledge.
Yeah, and I think a little bit more importantly, they've sort of shown everybody at home we're not just the 8th seed.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about Week 3. We're going to see 8 teams from each region face off for spots in the Pro League. Now, I think a few upsets here is that High Five didn't make it into Week 3 because of their check-in miss yesterday. Do you think that we're going to see High Five go in to the Challenger Cup, or do you think it's going to be a new roster, a new team name?
I mean, so I think we might see a new team name, but this is something that we've seen that core do, that core stick together. Sort of how Triggs, Kivo, Fred, and Lobster and Tricks Tank sort of stay together for the kids. That's similar to what we sort of see out of Wolfie, Brochacho, and I think Jaco is playing for them.
No, Jaco's on Poly.
Right. So it was
Nanton. They had
Nanton. That's who it was.
Yeah.
It was Nanton, Brochacho, and Wolfie. For better or for worse, they were sticking together. I think we might see a little bit of nurturing there, but as long as this team stays practiced, I mean, that's what I said back when they tried originally with Thirst. I'm aware it's a completely different team now, but they just needed more. They just needed more practice together. You know what I mean? So I think if we continue to see that, we might see the resurgence of whatever Wolfie decides to call that team, and hopefully some good stuff, because I think at the core there are some good players. More to the point, though, right here is Game 2 of your finals right here in the SPL Week 2 Season 2 qualifiers. European style. Panthera's got one of the books, and, well, they still got first pick. They're batting out hell still against Arn King. They don't want to see it. Team Pointless has done enough to scare them into batting hell.
All right, got you. I got you. $5 says that Arn King's going to go into another healer. He's played Hell. He's played Ra. This is going to be Aphrodite, Ra, or Chang'e. Like, right? I mean, maybe he'll take Sylvanas. Who knows?
All right, I'll give you $10 that it's a Chang'e.
10. Okay, so okay.
All right. So I expect to see it only because I think that Chang'e has a lot of impact in the game just as much as she is a healer.
Lotus Crown.
Exactly.
The crown makes you queen.
Yeah.
So bans are going to come out. Ymir, Hell. We're going to see Thor and Athena as well. First pick Serket here for Panthera, once again giving Bastet to Team Pointless.
Well, I mean, the Serket pickup is definitely something that we see a lot of.
For your wallet, bro.
I mean, we're both broke. I think I just gave you 5. I'll give you a high 5. How about that one? As Tears picked up, undoubtedly going to the solo lane. That said, we don't know who else is on the team. Could be a jungler.
Yeah, it could be.
Jungle tier, I mean, Bart and I share the opinion that jungle tier is one of the more exciting things in Smite. You get the blink onto the mid laner. It doesn't matter if you're under your tower. He's going to kill you.
So my opinion is that it's bad, and don't do it.
I mean, the problem is what we saw last match, right? Magi's blessing, et cetera, et cetera. But
and you just stand there and go ahead. Do it. I dare you to do it.
But when it works, it's beautiful.
Oh, I know.
Agni picked up by Team Pointless as well. Shibalaki able to stay out that long.
Yeah. I assume this is going to be Cupid here from Team Pointless. No, wow. Ares going to be picked up. Also a very good matchup against Shibalanke, albeit not a good matchup against Poseidon.
No, but see, Ares is a great matchup. Basically what happens, folks, is that his chains, Ares' almost main damage dealing source, it's also a cripple. Shibalanke's Rising Jaguar, obviously something that is susceptible to cripple. Not only does it do a lot of damage, but it's also his main way to get out of trouble. So you couple an Ares against that Shibalanke, and he kind of gets caught out a lot.
I really would like to see them go away from the picks here, kind of like Cupid. I want to see lane clear. I want to see Rama or Hoyi here and go for the hardcore lane clear.
And we're going to see an Uller, which I also agree with.
Not too bad.
I want to see a Transcendence Uller Ares lane.
Ooh, a lot of damage.
That I think is really potent. Not only is it a lot of damage, Brandon, but a Transcendence Uller can clear the wave with a bladed arrow.
That's true.
So I really want to see that with no sacks.
Oh,
so I really want to see that come through. Of course. But I mean, that is really going to be interesting. Not as interesting as the Zhang Kui pick, a character that has come in and out of the meta countless times.
I don't know how I feel about that.
And right now, not so hot.
I mean, this has to be a Nemesis pick. I mean, there's really nothing else you could possibly
100%.
think of. I mean, except for Fenrir, obviously, which is going to get locked in here against Zhang Kui. Now, honestly, Zhang doesn't do too badly against Fenrir at certain points and then does very badly against Fenrir. He is very susceptible to the Ragnarok, but he can stop the Brutalize with Book of Demons very well. Late game here, Ares going to fall off, Fenrir going to fall off, and then Tyr going to fall off, right? Agni and Uller would have to carry the game going to the end. On the top side, Poseidon, very effective. If the Kraken hits, Shibalanka hits the hardest of any hunter. Serket has a hard time getting in, but there is a Gib to protect it. I don't think either team has a amazing comp here, at least not well enough to say, wow, this team got this draft, right? And so
exactly.
I don't see any team having a major advantage except for the fact that Panthera just mechanically is a better team.
I think technically you win the bet. Arn King can heal.
Yeah.
He's not a healer.
No, he's not.
But he can heal.
But he can heal, thus making him a healer.
So I think I owe you $5.
All right.
I'm gonna buy you an Izzy. I'm gonna buy you an Izzy, friend.
Ooh,
but
yeah.
Here's one thing that's gonna be really
It's my
interesting.
perfect Sunday.
Stop that. The Pikachu picks up Optics, runs him into the team, and then Optics ults.
Yeah, right?
You're bringing a grenade to your team. I'm not. So here's the thing. It's a comfort. It has to be a comfort pick for this because we saw the Pikachu do. If you're just joining us for the finals, the Pikachu played Fenrir fantastically earlier in the bracket.
Yeah.
We talked about how Fenrir falls off. We discussed how good Wolfie's build was from North America and how you have to build that way. The Pikachu just said no and then proceeded to win the game for his team on the back of a Fenrir. So here, they're down a game. Panthera's up 1. This is the comfort pick. And I don't think it's the best choice for the situation, but if he can perform like he did earlier in the bracket, Brandon, it might just be enough to win the game for Team Pointless and bring it to a Game 3.
Now, we don't know enough about Arn King to say that Tyr isn't a comfort pick, right? I mean, he so far has gone into Hell and Raw, so we know that he likes healers. But aside from that, hasn't been too much others. It looks like we're going to see a pretty big, a pretty normal meta start. Everyone going for their buffs. It looks like we have a double Hand of the Gods option on the top side, but the Hand of the Gods missed the top creep. That's a really big misplay.
Yeah, that's an interesting one right there coming out. Is we're going to see them sort of make their way into the lanes as all the beginning buffs are down. So sort of interesting stuff. Now let's talk a little bit more about this this choice from Fresh Time Z to go Uller with the Ares lane. Is there anything specific that we're missing right there?
Well, honestly, I think Iraffer can keep them safe with the Geb shield, but they're looking for the big kills. Cripple's going to make it easier to ensure that he can land the stun from the Axe Toss. Aside from that, it's just all burst damage. If they can find it, it's going to be big. Now, coming into the mid lane here, you're going to see level 2 Fenrir. He'll be able to split some of this experience. Will likely hit level 3. Yes, there it is. But their rotation is going to be behind because of the miss overall on the blue buff from the Hand of the Gods. It's going to be rough. Left side, though, Axe Toss not going to do enough damage, and they're going to be pushed out.
Now, here's something interesting, Brandon. A lot of times we see Zhang Kui in the solo lane, and Poseidon is undoubtedly a mid laner.
Right.
They've swapped.
Yes.
That's okay, and I feel like a lot of players at home aren't really privy to that information. The difference between a solo and a mid laner is that a mid laner just needs mid camp secure. That's really the big difference. So you lose a lot of that with the Kraken going on the side of the solo lane, but the Zhang Kui can really provide the stun in order to protect those mid camps.
Arn King trying to push back Poseidon. I mean, there's really no way to deal with this. I mean, he can put the Whirlpool down, stand inside of it to make sure you can't Fearless him, and you can't Fearless the front of the wave back. This is like one of Tyr's hardest matchups, so having Ninja Dimi put this here is beyond incredibly smart.
Yeah, that's really what I wanted to bring home with that. You can sit in the Whirlpool. It's Poseidon and Ares. They're really shut him down, and what a great turnaround. Not enough to kill Arn King, but the basic and the #1 tidal wave will. So,
wow,
good play.
Right there, that is matchup knowledge. He knows if you're going to hit this Fearless, I know you're going to go for the creeps and me. So he lines it up perfectly. Mid lane, beautiful. Knock up his Path of Flames available. Yes, indeed. In fact, he will get out just barely and healing up. Optics right now, level 4 in the mid lane. As Pikachu actually goes for the kill here, it looks like they're going for Raffer. This is pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah, they bring the Ragnarok underneath the tower. Not able to get the stun, but the damage is all that's needed. Iraffer falls to the wayside. The Geb falls down, so the first blood is answered in almost under 30 seconds right there from Team Pointless. Good play overall, but man, that first blood by Ninja Dimi, that was a hard, cold read.
That's right. That's
just
absolutely
a hard
right.
read.
And Arn King, I bet he's going to be shaken because this is the first time in the early game that he's been put in trouble.
Yep.
His Hell and his Ra were able to withstand Ninja Dimi and all of his opponents before that. And for right now, Arn King, he's got to be shook.
And I mean, that's also one of those things, as a player yourself, you know, when you get hard red like that, you sit there and you say, he knows what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
How can I do what I want to do when he knows what I'm going to do when I want to do it?
And then what happens is you start thinking about the matchup like, like, oh my god, that Whirlpool's going to destroy me. How can I clear this wave safely? Do I fearless? Do I not fearless? Do I stand switch? Do I stay in blue? I mean, there's so many things going through his head right now, and maybe there's not a lot on the line. I mean, he's pretty much guaranteed a pretty good placing going into next week, but I mean, you never want to lose on camera.
No, of course not. I mean, you know, these teams just want to win. They definitely just want to win. Great stun! I was gonna say good, but I upgraded to great mid-call because of just how fancy that 180 axe stun while you're being dashed at was really fun to watch.
I mean, she was going for the Cobra's Kiss. It was all but guaranteed, but he hit the no-scope. I love it. Kraken over in the right side, trying to keep himself alive here, dodging a lot of shots from the Ragnarok, but unfortunately the timer is going to reset there. Whirlpool's not going to be up. He was actually pretty close to ensuring his safety. The Whirlpool was coming up in just a few seconds, and if he would have got it up, he would have stopped the brutalized damage and maybe even turned that one into a 1-for-1.
Yeah, just not quite enough, and already we're seeing off to a good start for the Pikachu on that Fenrir. 2 kills already.
Uh-oh, can he kill this fast enough? I think that was stolen, and I think he's dead.
He's dead.
Destruction, and there goes the speed buff as well. You know, Adaptum's feeling himself on that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my god, F-Dot, he didn't use the Hand of the Gods. That was a kill with ambush. He's going to get a double steal here.
Yeah.
Although he's going to be in a hell of a lot of trouble doing it.
He's going to get stunned out, fearless into the power cleave.
Ambush is up.
No stand switch, the ambush right over the wall. So really no big consequence for that sort of styling on.
Optics is dead. There's legitimately no way for him to get out of this unless they misplay the hell out of this. For instance, dropping the Noxious Fume stun.
Zhangque so tanky, able to withstand a 3-man gank right there. What happens is, the way his passive works, as he absorbs the ghosts, he gets protections, and when he ults, they're doubled.
Double Kata on the left side. Pikachu and Fast Time's going to be forced away. Emilito will keep Raffer safe as the rotation comes through. No steal coming up from Raffer, and really not too much gain there as they did have to use double ultimate to be able to get him out of safety.
Team Pointless so heavy on this left-hand side. They almost have to make something happen with as many players as they have right here on the left-hand side, but not really able to make much of anything as we see the Pikachu just go back to farming the back camps. Really, it looked like they wanted to make something happen in the left lane, but the dual lane was a little bit too smart on the side of Panthera to really let that opening happen.
Solo lane once again, level 8 to level 7. It looks like Arn King, yes, will just barely get level 8 there, but we will see the level 2 Kraken come in here after this wave is pushed. Mid lane, we're seeing just more stacks being gained by Optics as they'll turn their sights to the mid camps. It looks like Red has this controlled, and I love the ward placed down by Agni there to ensure that no rotation can happen safely. Right side camp, though, Ninja Demi trying to be able to take this one away. Pikachu not going to find a piece of it. Hand of the Gods or no, did not have the speed to get it done.
Yeah, left-hand side goes to the red team, and they're going to find some spacing with those Agni bombs. Just so powerful. Is right, Brandon. That is not good enough. Beads will win.
2 sets of beads going to be used there, but Optics not quite out of danger just yet. Brutalize should be enough to pick this one up. Book of Demons was just way too slow, and even though the last breath gets used, it's not going to be enough. Eyes on Kraken in the background. Will he be able to use it for a kill? No, Ninja Demi not going to find it. He's going to keep going for it, though. A lot of damage, still alive.
Not quite enough, but that ultimate coming out from across the wayside of the Hunter is good enough. The Pikachu gets a kill, immediately answered by adapting. So good heads-up play by the boys in blue. Panthera trying to still make things happen. Everybody's completely abandoned this left-hand lane, Brandon. They're trying to push in the mid lane, but Arn King, too potent, standing tall.
So we're going to go into a negative route here. Do you know what my least favorite thing about Smite is?
Everything.
Just watching Tyr walk without boots. Just like you're not going to hit anybody with a Fearless like this. You have no blink, you have no boots. You're so slow, and it's infuriating.
But nobody
watch.
can kill him, to be fair, with that sort of guy.
Like he'll be able to sustain for a very long time, indeed. I like this, though. Last hitting instead of pushing. There's too many creeps there for Poseidon to lose it, but Poseidon's rotating over. He really shouldn't lose too much there anyway.
He'll lose a little bit. It's just an exciting, or rather less exciting point of the game, but it's the fine plays like that, the smaller details that really want to separate you from everyone else. So Tyr really taking the time to sort of learn the intricacies of the laning phase in Season 2. Beautiful.
Mid lane in a lot of trouble. Optics not getting away from this one. Path of Flames would have picked it up, but Pikachu able to grab it with that last auto attack left side. Flurry Q could be in some trouble here. That was not the play to make. See you later, Emilito. Pointless going to be able to find one kill there. They might be able to answer back, though. The issue is that Fresh Times has exploded. Flurry Q taking the poison as well. Big rotation, though, but it seems they're choosing to put all their damage into Geb. Can Adapting save this one? Unlikely. Pikachu once again reaching and grasping that kill right out from underneath his teammates.
No ultimate available. Still able to get the kill. 6-2-0. This is exactly what we saw in that match earlier in the brackets, Brandon. The Pikachu just going off.
Oh,
but right now getting caught out, and Adapting is doing exactly what he's supposed to do on that Circuit 4, and no deaths.
Arn King on the right side used the Lawbringer to avoid this Kraken knockup. Still able to maintain safety in lane, but he has been pushed back. Power Cleave coming up in 3 seconds. Will be able to use it to heal up again and will maintain relevancy for now. The issue here is that he's not going to be able to clear this wave safely. He's going to lose at least 100 gold from these towers to the minion, rather minions to the tower, and that's going to hurt.
Yeah, that's not the ideal play, unfortunately, but like we said, Poseidon's one of the stronger cleaning mages in the game, and Tier, not so much. So it's a little bit of problematic matchup, and it's not to say that Tier can clear the wave. He just can't do it safely against this Poseidon.
So right now, looking at the gold charts here, despite him having 6 kills, he's actually even in gold, talking about Pikachu with his opponent in the jungle, adapting, and all the while, Ninja Demi actually matching them in gold as well, in fact, taking over the lead. Now, we're going to see an ult come out here. I don't know if we're going to see too much off of it. Raffer super tanky, and as Optics rotates in, not too much will be gained. This could be an attempt at the Gold Fury.
Oh, Adapting, going for a kill, gets the kiss, gets the ult, and that is a dead Uller. He's on a rampage. That's 5 kills in a row, no deaths, and in the mid lane, they are getting dominated by the Pikachu, basically.
That, for me, I think he just ran in the complete wrong direction. Cataclysm and Shield both up there. They needed to rely on Raffer. Now, Raffer actually going to be taken down. He can shield himself. Cataclysm going to hit 3. One's already down. They'll trade out the support, but I don't see him getting out of there. Skrit's going to go down as well, and we're going to see Flurry Q is forced away. Ninja Demi rotating over, and he is definitely the most frightening person on the map. They should be able to aggress or defend at their whim. Panthera maintains their lead, but just barely. 1,400 experience, 700 gold.
Team reset right here as we approach the 11-minute mark. Pretty tied, Brandon, as Brandon just gave us the goal differential right there. Very even matchup as we're early in this game. But Poseidon looking like he wants to bark down the front tier 1 tower on the right-hand side, and everyone else really just returning to farm. Team's very close right now. Really don't want to give either team anything in either direction. Tower goes down.
Love the Whirlpool. Stopping the Fearless approach. It will cripple. It will stop dead upon his arrival. And look at how much damage he has taken. We're going to see Adapting go in as well. Cobra's Kiss will be negated by the Lawbringer, which is definitely the right call.
Great call coming out from Arn King right there. Loses the tower, wants to stay a little aggressive, but not able to do much. Gold Fury coming out right there. There's the Shibalongi ultimate. Can they do anything off of it?
Right now, he'll use the immunity. Pikachu getting very low here. Adapting, finding the kill. No, not yet. Optics will in the back line, though. Flurry Q in a lot of trouble. Nowhere to go. He's going to get picked off. Last breath able to help that one down off the explosion. And that, I think, was a pretty good play. Adapting, not giving up just yet. He doesn't have his ultimate. He doesn't have a way over that wall. But unfortunately, it looks like Fresh Times has found himself between a rock and a hard place, and the hard place is about to win.
Fresh Times played that so well. It's just that Panthera played it a little bit better as far as their team spacing
Oh,
is
my
concerned.
Lord, Arn King, goodbye. Cobra's Kiss hits right as the card hits, right as the Whirlpool cripples him. And there was just no way for him to escape. Lawbringer already on cooldown. They'll take the tier 1 and I assume turn their sights to the Gold Fury to extend their lead. They're up 2,700 gold after that fight, and it's going to increase by 1,500 more.
Panthera's looking like a team today,
Oh, wait,
Brandon.
maybe not. What in the world? They're backing?
Strange call. But Panthera's looking like a team today, Brandon. Fresh Times Z played that very well. He was getting kills as he was trying to escape, getting the stuns, etc., but the spacing from Panthera. They did not group up. They did not stay for one single fight. They spread out so that anywhere he tried to go, there was a problem. They created problems for Fresh Times. good decision making.
I think that Panthera is dealing with Fenrir a lot better than Trig did.
Yes.
They're losing optics nonstop to Fenrir. In fact, it's likely they're going to lose him again, but they're always taking something off it.
Yep.
For instance, 4 people are now chasing a kill onto a mid laner that is already behind, while the rest of the team does the Gold Fury.
And
Bates.
look where he is. Look where he is. Optics is this is akin to what we see as Panthera destroys the Gold Fury. This is akin to what we see Lokis do. They run behind tier 2s. They say, I know I'm already dead, but keep chasing me. Great distraction.
Adapting actually winds up trading out and getting a 1-for-1 plus the Gold Fury. Ares not going anywhere here. Cripple's not going to help, but the other Cripple will help a lot as the Whirlpool goes down. A 2-for-1 somehow.
Good stun.
Now a 2-for-2. Adapting
there
goes down. Oh, Rapper goes down as well.
Yeah, again, Fresh Time's on the losing end of this one right now, but still playing lights out. 2-3-2 reads a slash line, but we're doing a little bit more than that. Ultimate Kraken is going to miss. Ragnarok should claim the life, and it does. Pikachu picks up Emily too, and again, good play from Fresh Time. He's going to get that stun and get the kill. Ninja Dimmy falls down in the middle lane, and that'll be a good turnaround for Team Pointless.
That was an effective deicide, and even though they lost the Gold Fury, they end up taking more in gold than they lost
and
overall. They actually wind up gaining 500 gold overall, putting them behind only 2,200 now, which is going to shrink down to 17 if they can fight this, but it doesn't look like they're going to go for it. Experience difference, however, has been shrunk from down over almost 7K to now only 3,400. Big win there for Pointless.
Very big win right there. It's also the momentum swing, right? When you are doing well with one character but still losing, it feels like we're doing everything we can. Why are we not winning? You win a good fight like that, you can win a second fight, Brandon. All of a sudden, you find yourself in the lead. That's what we saw them do earlier today. That could be the beginning of something big for the team in red.
Adapting right now, rotating through the jungle. Looks like Sentry Ward vision right now is given to red. A little bit early, in my opinion, to be warding so hard. Towards, I think they could have done there with a regular ward, using the sentry in maybe one of the hot spots in mid lane. They would have found probably better success at finding other wards and maintaining vision control in those spots, but I guess they're trying to play the safe route and make sure there's no backdoor nonsense happening on that Fire Giant.
Definitely been a motif of today's contests, the surprise Fire Giants and Gold Furies, so staying ever vigilant is Team Pointless, looking out for the vision. Middle lane, a little bit of aggression on optics one more time, should surprise nobody, but not going to go for the kill right there as team sort of relax a little bit. I like this play coming out in the solo lane. If we take a look over here, we see Poseidon sort of loop around and picked up and tried to surprise Tyr. They're playing mind games here around the geography, Brandon, and it's really fun to see the small moves that solo laners can do to get inside each other's heads.
So for me, I think Panthera's biggest weakness right now is just teamwork, right? I mean, it's obviously they don't have obvious to me, they don't have a leader. No one's calling the shots hard enough, and when the shots are being called, not everyone is always listening. With that, their mechanics are great, but I mean, with Pointless, their mechanics haven't been wonderful, but their teamwork has been really just spot on. It feels to me like they are just a lesser version of Titan.
And I mean, that's exactly what we just saw in the long lane. Fenrir went for the kill, and it was assisted by the Shibalanki ultimate, so, really couldn't escape right there. Good play, and chains on the Fenrir, nowhere for him to go.
I don't know if Optics should be able to escape from this. Why is Fenrir not just killing it? It looks like they're going to force out bees from Optics. In the backline here, it looks like Ragnarok has been wasted. No one gained whatsoever. And that's going to be a fairly big win for Panthera. They should use this time to be aggressive.
Yeah, they want to find a little bit more than they have been right now. Team Pointless going to try and come down in the middle lane, but surprised by the backside and the left side by the team in blue.
Beautiful, fearless power cleave, doing some damage there. The Whirlpool a little bit late. Kraken will do next to nothing there. Ninja Dimi throwing away the only potential the character had in this team fight, and I am expecting this tier 1's going to go down cleanly.
Yeah, Ninja Dimi has been on point all match, Brandon. Just misses that important Kraken, trades that free Kraken for the free tier 1 tower going down. So Team Pointless trailing by just under 1,000 gold now, Brandon. 17.5 minutes in. Pointless, bringing it back.
That's right. It was a huge roller coaster ride in the beginning, but the drop has already been sustained.
There it is.
Are we going to see a Fire Giant attempt here?
I think more we're seeing a Fire Giant hang out. They're going to stand here and try and convince the red team that they're going for it. They don't really want to aggress out of the Fire Giant because that could really hurt them, bring their HP pools down before they start the team fight that they inevitably want, because that's what they're looking for. They're trailing in 3 kills, but I think the kills that they've had, the 14 kills, have been more impactful than the 17 kills that Team Pointless has had.
Oh, Fire Giant's going to be started here. Ninja Demi's out of mana, though. This is a very poor call coming out. And Emilito, once again, similarly to last game, getting hit by the Magma Blast. He's going to be forced out here. In fact, this could be a big steal if they choose to go for it. Instead, Flurry Q decides to land himself directly on a pile of lava mud and kills himself outright. Jumping over the wall there, trying to keep himself safe. You're seeing Pikachu attempt to escape, but he's out of mana, he's out of time, and now he's out of health. See you later, buddy. Adapting
with a good play. Good heads-up play right there coming out from the jungler on Team Panthera.
Wait, how did they lose that engagement? That was a 2-for-0 in favor of Panthera, who is tanking the Fire Giant incorrectly.
Optics might be in some, might be able to get out of here, but not quite, as Fresh Times picks up another kill. 4-3-3. Finally, just a little more positive for him. So good call coming out from the Uller on Team Pointless. Trailing now by about 2,000, Brandon.
You know, this is for me why I don't like Zhang in the current meta. He's 1-5. Granted, every single time he's died, he's been out of position.
Right.
But to the same point, like, why are you picking a character that can't go out of position and then go out of position if it doesn't suit your playstyle? It seems like Optics in the mid lane is having too much trouble.
Well, we talked a little bit about this, Brandon. He's trading his life for his team to get objectives. So that
he wasn't.
Not in that particular stance, but we saw him walk behind tier 2s. We saw him go completely out for Gold Furies and Towers. So that 1-5, that 1-6 is a little misleading.
Fire Giant's getting started up here. It looks like Arn King able to tank this effectively. No, gonna take the Magma Blast. No one is here. Is this a joke?
There it is.
Are they gonna do this for free?
We talked about it all game, all day even, and
God.
This is what every single team that tries to do this tries to get. They get the Fire Giant, but now it's Panthera's time to turn it around. Can they get a kill off of this? Adapting is looking for Flurry, and he can't get it. Flurry turns it around and kills Adapting with the power of Ares. Looking for more with the Fire Giant buff is Team Pointless. This is the cornerstones that they need. The Pikachu picks up one, but Ninja Demi picks up the Pikachu in response. That's a 2-for-1 fight at the moment, Brandon. 20 kills to 17. It looks like Team Pointless is going to call this one as Panthera backs off. They don't want to chase it. They've evened it up. Technically, they're in the lead by about 40 gold, which doesn't count.
Oh.
But Ninja Demi turns that around and says, no.
So really, we should not have seen the second kill go down there.
No, we shouldn't.
Optics was guaranteed to save that with Book of Demons. Didn't, for whatever reason, use Book of Demons until after he popped his ultimate, which wasn't necessary considering the player was almost already down. Pikachu winds up picking up a kill he didn't deserve because, again, a misplay by Optics, not having the best game of his life here, and now who didn't control the mid lane, who died out of position, who forced the Gold Fury, or Fire Giant hand, will now be hard-pressed to defend the Gold Fury almost alone.
This is rough. Team Pointless is 2 members deep while the entire team of Panthera sort of surrounds them right here. Coming from the left is Optics. Coming from the right is Ares. Coming from behind is Adapting. Where can they go? Absolutely nowhere.
Oh, wait. Oh, Flare Q's going to blow up, applying poison to 2 more people. No healing going to be available. It looks like Fresh Time's going to be forced to escape here as Arn King just going to try to buy as much time as possible. There goes the poison. There goes some more poison, and there goes some bolas. See you later.
Emilito on that Shibalaki just hitting everybody with those bolas. That's what we're talking about, folks. 3, 5, and 7. He's got half of his passive all the way up right there. He's hitting for an extra 15 physical power with that. And here comes the Pikachu. Beats out is the ultimate, but the Shibalaki ult is still good. Fresh Times gets stunned out. The Pikachu has nowhere to go. This is the problem with Fenrir. He can't fight.
That's right, and now he's in a lot of trouble. Optics finally doing some damage there, forcing out the beads from Pikachu, who's going to be pushed back once again. Are they giving this one up? It seems like it. They're going to go for the Gold Fury and try to increase their lead a bit here. They're still ahead by 3,600 experience and 1,300 gold as Skrit takes more health than he's willing to bargain with. Fast Time's going to be here with Flurry Q, but honestly, I don't see them getting in, and if they do, they're going to wind up falling for it.
Ultimate's already down from Ninja Demi, and Team Pointless knows it. So they understand that there's no Kraken available, and because of that, it almost looks like Panthera's going to call off the Gold Fury just because of it. And it looks like they could just sneak it.
Oh,
I mean, Team Pointless, this is what they've done.
Raver's here.
So is Ares.
That's true, but I mean, Raver can just walk up to it and say, if you do this, I'm going to take it. I mean, you don't have any way to stop me. I can stop you twice.
That's true. 2 knockups. The 2 knockups coming out from Geb can stop the Hand of the Gods happening. Well, Ares doesn't really have a hard stun or hard CC in that respect, so nothing you can really do right there. Gonna chains up Geb. What he can do is prevent him from using roll out, because that's a cripple, and he can also stun and use his Fenrir to jump in.
Idea.
Down in the damage is Fenrir. Pikachu took way much more than his opponent took in that regard, so he's gonna go ahead and fall back. Team Pointless doesn't lose a single character, but loses more HP than their opponent.
Right there, if Raffer had Cataclysm up, that would have been a wipe.
Oh, yeah.
Gold Fury going to get started here. Emilito able to tank this one up cleanly. I assume we're going to see a hail of arrows just to do some damage, but Blinking in the backside, we're seeing them go for it. Raffer actually getting pretty low here, but not as low as Flurry Q. First casualty, second's going to be Arn King, it looks like, as he gets chased down as well. Now, Ninja Demon doesn't have a lot of mana, which means he'll be forced back, but a 2-for-0 trade is going to be really big for them here.
Yeah, it's going to be a big trade. Not only do they get the 2 kills, but they're also going to be able to get the free Gold Fury. The Pikachu does not have a Hog 3 that's available online. Ares does, but he's dead. So Panthera gets the Gold Fury for free. There's no character there that could really contest that, and that's exactly why those 2 pickups were immensely important.
So we take a look at the graphs here. You can see the gold difference starting to shoot back up to where it was almost to begin with here. 3,400 gold, yeah. 6,200 experience. Fire Giant's going to be coming up in about 45 seconds or so. This is going to allow the boys in blue to try to repressure the map. Gold in hand right now, not too high. Only Shibalanke really able to spend a lot of gold, but I say about 800 gets spent there for adapting as well, as he's going to turn his dagger into a short sword.
Yeah, I mean, it's his. He spends it. He's riding around. He's getting it. That's pretty much exactly what this entire team has been doing. It just picking up the kills, picking up the gold where they can find it possible, and then going home, spending it, and getting big, big items. I really want to point out this build on Zhangque specifically. He's got the staff. The ethereal staff.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, he has it, sure, but there's not a lot of health on his build. Exactly. Otherwise. There's none on Spirit Robe. I mean, that if that was an Urchin, that would have been one thing. Yep. I think this is wasted talent here. There was no reason for it.
Not out to some of the other European teams that we get to see. Fresh Time's going to go ahead and pick up a tower for his troubles. Tier 1 on the duo lane all by himself, but meanwhile Panthera, 4 members deep, picking up the Fire Giant. They go ahead and they get it. A little bit late to the reaction is Team Pointless. Ragnarok used to just get away. Defensively, is he going to be able to get out? Beads out of the cripple. I like it, but now there's problems on the other side as Tyr is getting chased.
How did Tyr just now pop Heavenly Agility after his team died? Big misplay there coming out from Arn King. Is the card active? No, just barely missing over the wall. Fresh Times finally shows up to the fight here after getting a Tier 1, but too little too late, and maybe even too little health here as he's going to get pushed back as well. Emilito takes some damage, might be forced back, but Raffer, unafraid completely, will move forward, adapting, helping the kill there. That was a really big swing. Tier 2 is guaranteed to go down.
Yeah, Tier 2 is going to go down as we take a look at Emilito just throwing out those bolas. That's the power of having a hunter on your team, folks. You need those tower killers. So great heads up sticking on that tower. Similar to how we saw Fun Ball for Drake Esports. Fight the tower, not the fight. And that's what wins.
I love the Gem of Isolation onto Ninja Demi. I mean, this build is just incredible. Let's take a look at it here. Pythagorum's piece has been picked up for cooldown, for some extra lifesteal. I love this item. He goes into Gem of Isolation as well for the slows in the Whirlpool, making it one of the strongest abilities of the game now. And then on top of that, you know, he has a flat amount of base damage on Kraken that will do great. And with Spear of the Magus online, he's not only swinging better for him, but we're going to see even more damage onto Zhangque.
And see, that is the difference between a mid lane Poseidon and a solo lane Poseidon. In the solo lane, I talked a little bit about before, about how you have a lot of farm in that solo lane, but in Smite it becomes a utility character. That's really what we get to see out of this Poseidon. That Gem of Isolation isn't what you're going to build, Brandon, if you want a max burst character. But in the solo lane, your job isn't to be max burst, and you can sort of control, and that's exactly what we see. It's beautiful. I love it.
So, Fire Giant buff still going to be available for 2 minutes here as Panthera will look to shut out Pointless in the finals here 2-0. There's still a chance for a comeback here. We've seen crazier things happen. The issue is that Uller, not super safe in the end game. Pikachu's Fenrir not going to put up a lot of damage, and Tyr, honestly, going into this build, isn't going to be able to put up as much as well. It's going to really come down to what Agni can set up, and so far, he's just been getting pushed down.
Yeah, going absolutely crazy is this team, but folks, 27.5 minutes in, 25-20 read the kills, but they just don't seem that important this game. Is 61,000 gold by Panthera versus 55 for Team Pointless. Taking a look at the graphs, that's 6,300 and 11,700 with gold experience respectively. And now we see the blue team Panthera pushing on this left-hand side.
I love the win there from Raffer, throwing out the Shockwave, max range to take the Magi's blessing off. I'm not sure where the rotation is going here, but the creeps are coming in.
It's a fake.
This is going to be a 5v5. They're going to rush this down. Raffer's unafraid. He's going right in.
Yeah, Raffer's going to go right in, take the brunt of the force, and here comes the air ult. What will it land? It'll get one pull, and it's just Raffer, not the target you want to hit. Optics picks up Flurry Q. That might have been a misguided approach. Ninja Dimmy on the other side gets Arn King. So we've got 5 members still deep. Make that all 5 members still deep for Panthera. Adapting cleans it up. They're going to go ahead and take it. And with a good deicide and a great lead, Panthera will earn themselves a victory.
That Kraken not only finding the kill he aimed for, but Pikachu actually catching the tail end of it as well. GG, Panthera will be your winners in Week 2, and they will advance as your top seed going into Week 3.
Fantastic play from, honestly, all the teams. a lot of times you hear that in a broadcast. You're like, oh, okay, thanks, bud. But Team Pointless actually came out to play today. Surprised a lot of people at home and here. Really liked what they had to do, and I know that I'm talking a lot about Team Pointless, but the winners were Panthera. And right now we have the support player coming out from Panthera. How you doing, iRaffer?
I'm not too bad, thank you. So you say support, but I tend to like my assassin gods, such as Thanatos, suck it.
All right.
First thing I want to start with is you were really good even after 14 minutes.
I can't really hear you, DM.
So Brandon basically took a shot at you. He said, so for the first time in your life, you've been good after 14 minutes.
I didn't say for the first.
Please.
But
that's all I can say, please. You know,
it's just banter,
mate. I don't
mate.
think I'm the best support in EU.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm the best jungler.
All right, so I mean,
but I'm always willing to learn.
Exactly.
That's the best part of it. If you're willing to learn, then you will reach the top.
And that's really where I wanted to go with one of my first questions for you, Raffer. You know, so previously you've played jungle. Almost that's all we've ever gotten to see you. Right. Most notably Mortality, but you've played in other teams, etc., playing jungle. And last week we saw you play. We're not going to mention the Thanatos support, but we saw you play assassin support. How's the transition going into support from the jungle?
It's honestly. It's really easy.
Okay.
If you adapt your own playstyle into the role, it can work. Ignore last week, as you've seen, I completely sucked as Thanatos and I played it wrong. But that's all it's about. It's a learning process, and I learned. And today, I picked out my Guardians and hopefully surprised everyone. I mean, I won't say I played the best, but that Gold Fury steal, honestly, like that Gold Fury steal, honestly, I watched it back and I was hyped about it. It's like, yeah, pick me Guardians more now.
Credit where credit's due. Definitely earned it with that Gold Fury steal.
So, Raffer, your team, Panthera, is the only team so far to have won a qualifier without a sponsor behind them. Are you looking at anybody?
So
that would be telling.
Okay, so you.
I kind of heard him. I kind of heard that. I just heard the sponsorship.
Right,
we are looking into sponsors. We are speaking to, let's say, a few big organizations.
Ooh.
And if they don't pick us up, any sponsors out there still looking, throw us your offer. You know, you've seen us today. Just throw us your offer.
There you go. Very confident stuff coming out from iRaffer. Now, I mean, you guys took first place this week. Last week, you guys were looking a little bit different. This seems to be more of your identity. Where do you guys feel you're the strongest, and where do you feel you're the weakest? Where do you guys need to work as you enter week 3?
We're strongest in our mechanics. You know, every single player on our roster has, you know, the best mechanics in EU, which is why I singly picked my roster before the season. But the one issue we have is shot calling, all committing to one call. We're stuck between 2 shot callers at the moment, and you know,
one of you just has to yell louder.
Brandon says one of you guys just have to yell louder, and it'll all be fixed.
Yeah, I guess I'll take that advice. I'll try it next scrim.
Yeah,
but no, I'm really happy with the roster at the minute. I think some players kind of didn't take it serious in the finals. I mean, Team Pointless, they played a lot better than expected. All hype to them. I think they will be one of the upcoming teams next season. It honestly, almost reminds me of Titan, how they was in the challenges.
Yeah, I had a couple of flashbacks to them. I really liked watching Pointless play, not just in the finals, but all day today. And Brandon, do you have a last question you wanted to ask Raffer before we send him off?
That's it for me. I think they played well enough to speak for themselves.
Yeah, I pretty much think your play can speak for itself, Raffer. But, I mean, as we mentioned, you're one of the more, you're unsponsored, you're one of the more unfamiliar teams, I guess. Do you have anything you want to say to the people at home that don't know your name or the rest of your teammates?
We're Team Panthera, but new to the block. We're all, all professional players, with the addition of 2 from the challenges. Mm-hmm. But we're going to get to the top. Trust.
Excellent, and trust we will, especially if you put on a performance like that. It's been a long time since you and I casted together, but I think it's just going to be me casting you now. So good luck to you guys, and congratulations on your first place win, and we'll see you next week as you're seeded number 1.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. See you later.
Take it easy.
What time is it where he lives? It's like 1,000 o'clock.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit late. It's about +5 or +6. But right now, as we said, they're going to be seeded number 1. We'll take a look at the entire European League and take a snapshot as where they're at. And Trig Esports, they are seeded number 2.
Spicy Waffles won the tiebreaker, so they're going to be ahead overall. That'll put them in the 6th seed, which is going to put them, I assume, in the pool with Team Pointless.
Yeah, that should be very
Spicy
very
Waffles, Pointless, and Trig all in the same. That's going to be killer.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely. Pointless is just. They're really exciting me, Brandon.
Do you think this was a one-time deal? You
No.
think they can do it again? I mean, what happened last week? They were 8th.
Yeah, I mean, basically one of the problems with Team Pointless, I think, is that the Pikachu's comfort pick is Fenrir. He does so well, but it's just
your comfort pick needs to be like Circat or like Bastet.
I think we'll see the team come and go and come and grow. More importantly, because Team Pointless, they kind of were on all cylinders working out today,
right?
And as we see them go against Trig and go against more of the big boys, Panthera, I think losing these 2 games were some of the greatest learning experiences they could have.
So those are going to be your top 8 teams going into next week. Remember, the final week of qualifiers, which is next week, will be putting the top 2 in each pool into the Smite Pro League.
Yeah, so definitely want to take a look at that. That's next weekend for North America. It's both at 1 p.m., but for North America, that'll be Saturday, and for Europe, that'll be Sunday, just like today. So 1 p.m., twitch.tv/SmiteGame. Make sure you tune in for all of that and the exciting action. For DM Brandon, production, hi-rez studios, and all the gods we've got in Smite, my name's F. We'll see you next week.